Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey and welcome to a new video. Today I want to thank you guys for something that happened at around 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. US West Coast time, and that is I did finally reach 50k subscribers on YouTube. And I'm still a little bit shocked by this, a little bit just completely blown away, and you'll see why in just a second when I show you exactly how far I have come and progressed in just the past year with this channel. But before we get into any of that, the main thing I just want to say is thank you guys for being a part of this. It's been a pleasure to interact with most of you guys as a community. I've had a lot of fun just reading the comments and interacting with some of you in game, as well as with the live streams lately have been great, and for the most part there has been a ton of really positive feedback, so that's always awesome to see and hear. So for the first time in a YouTube video, I will be allowing myself to reflect and look back on the process that this has become. So I started YouTube in January 2nd, 2011, almost got in on the 2010 crowd. That would have been kind of cool when YouTube was still young and growing, but I kind of hit YouTube after it already started to take off in popularity. And at the time, the free trade for the Grand Exchange was just about to come back, and there was going to be PKing returning to the wilderness, and I actually started to play RuneScape again after taking a couple years break. At this time, I did not come back because free trade was coming back. I came back because a lot of people at school were coming back because of free trade coming back, and then they told me about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to play that game. I'm going to start playing again. And yes, I know that's extremely overly complicated, but that's essentially what happened. And then, of course, when coming back to a game that you've been away from for a long time, my reaction, along with many of your guys' reactions who have come back to RS, I would imagine, was to look up some videos on this new YouTube thing that was getting really popular. Even though YouTube had been out for a couple of years already, I was pretty new to the whole thing and a little bit behind the crowd. And there were a few prominent RS video makers at the time, and I looked them up and thought, wow, that looks really cool to make videos on a game, and I decided to try it. So with a terrible computer and a mic that I actually got for $2 at a yard sale, I started off with the making of the videos. Unfortunately, none of my really early videos were kept on YouTube. I have deleted them long since ago because I was honestly that embarrassed about the video and all audio quality. It was pretty bad, take my word for it. It was not fun or pleasant to listen to at all just because the quality was so bad. So the oldest upload that I could find was from June 23rd, 2012, which is over a year since I started making videos. But luckily this was still pre the evolution of combat. I think this was a few months before the evolution of combat came out, and so we still get to see old RS a little bit and how the old interface worked. And yeah, this is how RS used to be. It seems so long ago. It was really only a couple years ago, and this is what the game used to look like with that really small fixed interface that I used to play on all the time and minimum graphics. So starting from obviously very humble beginnings, it did take a long time to build up subscriber base. And one thing that I have had a lot of questions about on YouTube is how do you eventually break through to the point where you can build up a fairly decent sized community among your channel and have a larger subscriber base in order to reach people with. And the one thing that I can really say to people and give hints to people when it comes to this is it's just a process, man. It takes a really long time to get anywhere on YouTube, and eventually you get to a point where you kind of break through and start to find some success of your own. The best way that I could illustrate this is a screenshot that I found of the subscribers that I had on this channel just 1 year ago from today. This is December 2013. It's now December 2014 if you were previously unaware of this, and that means that's a growth of about 43,000 subscribers in 1 year. So eventually you just reach a point where your channel really starts to take off and you find some success of your own. But up until then, YouTube is really a very slow process, and the number one thing that you have to have if you are deciding to be a YouTuber is perseverance. And luckily I have been able to stick with that for the most part, although admittedly there have been a couple periods of where I took a few months off of YouTube, got bored of RS, and decided not to play for a little while. And looking back, that was clearly a mistake, but it all turned out okay in the end. I wanted to make sure I ended this video on a tone of appreciation more than anything else, and that is because 1 year ago from today I was working full-time at a Quiznos and going to school for some general eds with really no idea where the direction life would take, and really no idea what to even take in college beyond just the basic stuff and get a transfer degree to a 4-year college. And now all of that has flipped on its head. I'm now doing YouTube full-time on 2 separate channels as well as streaming, and it's been an absolute blast and I've loved it. And this is definitely a lot better than the alternative that a lot of, unfortunately, people have to go through when it comes to just going to college and finding your path in life. Luckily, I hope that I have found my path in life, at least for the near future, and I look forward very much to continuing this and seeing how far we can go. So that's about all for me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of this. And also remember that anytime you'd like, feel free to leave any sort of suggestions, constructive criticism, feedback, anything you want in the comments of any of my more recent videos, and I will be more than happy to look at it and take into account what you want, because after all, the main thing that I do want to do in the future is to improve this channel any way I can, and I'm looking forward to the opportunities to be able to do that. So I'll see you guys in future videos as well as on some of the live streams. Thank you so much, and have a happy holiday season. Farewell.